Something really incredible is happening inside our earliest classrooms. The old school models are giving way to a whole new world. A world designed not just to cram facts into kids' heads, but to build the curious, capable thinkers of tomorrow. So let's dive in and explore what that actually looks like. Okay, let's just start by flipping our whole idea of school on its head. What if the goal wasn't to churn out identical products, like on an assembly line? What if, instead, the goal was to spark thousands of unique, individual experiments? I mean, that one question right there is at the very heart of a revolution in early childhood education. And right here, you can see the big shift in action. On the left, you've got the old model, where the teacher is the expert at the front of the room. But on the right, well, that's where things get interesting. The teacher becomes a facilitator. Knowledge isn't just handed down anymore, it's built together. The focus moves away from just memorizing facts and onto the much more exciting process of inquiry and discovery. All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll look at why classrooms even need to be reimagined. Then, we're going to jump into three really powerful concepts: learning through play, letting the child be the guide, and seeing the environment as a teacher. And to wrap it all up, we'll connect all the dots and see why this is all such a big deal. Okay, first up, reimagining the classroom. And look, this isn't just about changing things for the sake of changing them. It's about getting kids ready for a future, for a world that requires a completely different set of skills than the one before. I mean, just think about these skills for a second. Critical thinking, collaboration, adaptability. You can't learn this stuff from a lecture, right? There's no textbook for creativity. These are the abilities that are really going to matter in the 21st century, and they demand a brand new kind of classroom, one that's designed to grow these skills right from day one. And that leads us right into our first huge idea: learning through play. Now, I know it might sound kind of simple, but reframing play as the serious work of childhood, well, that is a truly profound educational strategy. So what is it really? Well, at its heart, play-based learning just taps into a kid's natural instinct to play and uses that as the main engine for learning. It's not time off from learning, it is the learning. It's how kids test out their theories about the world, how they make sense of everything, and they get to do it with genuine joy. And just look at how many things this touches. When a couple of kids are building a block tower, they're not just stacking blocks. They're learning to negotiate, to talk out their ideas. They're literally forging new pathways in their brains. It's social, emotional, and cognitive development all wrapped up in one fine activity. I mean, hey, if it's good enough for Einstein, right? Even he knew that play is basically research. It's all about curiosity, experimentation, and discovery. It's pure science, just at a kid's level. All right, our next big idea completely flips the script and puts the child right in the driver's seat. This is all about respecting each kid as an individual and trusting that they are naturally curious. You've probably heard of this. It's a huge part of the Montessori method. And what's so cool about this is how the roles just totally switch. In child-led learning, the kid's interest is what gets the ball rolling. The teacher's job isn't to stand up there and lecture anymore. They're more like a guide on the side, watching, seeing what a child is ready for, and then pointing them to the right activity at exactly the right time. If you were to walk into a classroom like this, you'd feel it immediately. It's not chaotic, it's this focused hum. You'll see kids off doing their own thing, totally absorbed in work they've chosen for themselves, and the teacher, they're moving quietly around the room, connecting with kids one-on-one. The whole space is literally built for concentration. This quote from Maria Montessori, I mean, it just says it all, doesn't it? The whole point is to help kids get so independent and self-motivated that they don't even need you standing over them anymore. They become the masters of their own learning journey. Okay, so we've talked about play, and we've covered letting the child be the guide. Now for our third big concept, and this one is fascinating. It comes from the Reggio Emilia approach in Italy, and it says there's another powerful teacher in the room: the environment itself. I just love this idea. The third teacher. It means the classroom isn't just four walls where learning happens. No, it's an active part of the learning. Everything, how the tables are set up, what's on the shelves, the kids' own work on the walls, it's all designed on purpose to spark curiosity and get them working together. And this isn't a set it and forget it kind of thing. The space is always changing. It all starts with just watching the kids. What are they into? Then you give them materials that aren't prescriptive, things like clay or light tables that can be used in a million different ways. You set up the room so they can collaborate, and, this is key, the space evolves right along with the children's interests.
The founder of the Reggio Emilia approach, Loris Malaguzzi, he put it perfectly. He said the classroom should be like an aquarium, reflecting the culture of the people inside it. Basically, the room itself should tell a story about who the kids are and what they care about.
All right, we've looked at play, letting the child lead, and using the environment as a teacher. So now let's pull back, put all these pieces together, and talk about the big so what. Why does all this matter so much? Well, when you look at all these modern approaches, you start to see these common threads. At the core of everything is a deep, genuine respect for the child as a competent, capable person. They all see learning as an active sport, not a passive one. It's something you do, not something that's done to you. And really, the ultimate goal is to light that internal fire, to foster a genuine, lifelong love of learning. So here's a great way to think about it. Each philosophy has its own special focus, but they're all aiming for the same thing. Play-based learning, that's all about creativity. Montessori is the champion of independence, and Reggio Emilia is really focused on collaboration. You put them all together, and what do you get? A powerful vision for building kids who aren't just knowledgeable, but who are also creative, independent, and collaborative human beings. And that kind of leaves us with one last question to chew on, right? These ideas, respect, curiosity, collaboration, they're way too powerful to stay locked inside a classroom. So the question is, how can we bring them into our own lives, into our homes and our communities? How can we all maybe direct a little less and listen a little more? That's the real challenge, but it's also the biggest opportunity. Thanks for exploring this with me.